just the fact that there's so many vessels down there right now. But, like, what the heck do you do about it?
Right.
You just wait until all the oceans dry up? like Lake Mead?
Right. Yeah, it's weird. The lakes are drying up while the ocean size is increasing, right? At the same time, becoming increasingly unlivable. Sort of like New York. History is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. So Tyler says the following. I've been a fan from the first show. Wow, that's a long time, huh? But I can't remember if you ever covered the topic of sunken World War II vessels and ecological disasters waiting to escape their decaying hulls. Tyler, you point us to a wonderful documentary via YouTube called Forgotten Wrecks Are a Time Bomb. And you kick some numbers that I wanted to share with the group. With over 8,500 shipwrecks worldwide, 3/4 of which are apparently from World War II, the majority of them are from the past century. There are 6,338 World War II ships containing an estimated, get this guys, 25 million tons of fuel and oil still sitting in corroding tanks. The German ships mainly use synthetic oil produced from coal treated with hydrogen at high temperatures, which is more toxic than typical oil at the time. And just for, get this, ships and giggles, I would also like to add another delightful fun fact. Off the coast of Norway, approximately 800 feet below the surface, is the Nazi U-boat U-864 that was sunk by the British sub HMS Venturer on February 9th, 1945. It contained 65 to 67,000 tons of mercury, 20 torpedoes, and enriched uranium. The exact numbers are probably kept under wraps, but this sounds worse than horrible. It would be interesting to hear what you guys can find out. I look forward to every new episode. Thank you all, and stay frosty. Tyler. What do you think? We've never covered this, right? All the ships of years past with a little tick, 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 tick of underwater corrosion.
Yeah, it's really freaky. You just think about how dangerous a single oil tanker is when it's out, just in the ocean and it's immobilized and maybe the hull is compromised in a small way. Just how much of an undertaking it is to get that ship away or out of the water or to repair whatever's broken so the thing doesn't just sink to the bottom and then eventually leak out, right? That becomes a huge news story. Just the fact that there's so many vessels down there right now. But, like, what the heck do you do about it?
Right.
You just wait until all the oceans dry up? like Lake Mead?
Right. Yeah, it's weird. The lakes are drying up while the ocean size is increasing, right? At the same time, becoming increasingly unlivable. Sort of like New York. Anyhow, I walked down the street from that one, for that one. But, yeah, maybe this is a future episode because we know that in the past, the U.S. in particular has executed some pretty crafty attempts to retrieve shipwrecks covertly, and given that the oceanic environment is largely unexplored, especially at the depths, it's kind of hard to tell what's down there, It's pretty nuts. I just don't know whether there is a huge bill that will come due at some point. Matt, you point out the issue with oil tankers, right? With oil rigs, what happens when those things go sideways? Would this, I guess maybe our question for the episode would be, does this create a situation in which there's a massive outpouring of contaminants, or is it just like adding another 2% to the ongoing catastrophe? I honestly don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, in some ways, it's a drop in the bucket, right? Because we know ocean acidification is probably the major issue, as well as the temperature rise. I mean, if those are happening, then anything that's in that water is going to be affected. If you've got contaminants like this that are isolated, at least for the most part, to a cloud of stuff that's going to be contaminating the water, I think you have to think about it that way. They're bigger fish to fry, but most of them are whales and cetaceans and things like that, and that's really messed up.
Yeah, agreed. So this is maybe a story for a future episode, because we would have to look at, I don't know, all the sketchy stuff that goes on in maritime law, all the the rights of plunder, the rights of recovery, and then we would have to look at the inevitable consequences. As we've mentioned in the past, by the way, our home state of Georgia here in the United States is home to a sunken nuclear weapon. It is off the coast of Savannah. Everybody knows it's there somewhere. It is yet to be retrieved. We're just kind of hoping nothing bumps it. Yeah, right. I think about that every time we're in Savannah.
I know we talked about that before. It seems like in order to make a nuclear weapon do the thing it's meant to do, it was born to do, and start a chain reaction that makes a big old boomy boom, you have to trigger it in a certain way. You can't just explode it, right? So that I'm not as worried about that one. But lingering effects of radioactive waste and or nuclear fissile materials, that does work.